Welcome to the Hometown Bluegrass Show with Kentucky boys Tim Batts and Josh Williams. Tim is a music promoter, radio host, and passionate bluegrasser, and Josh is a 20-time Bluegrass Guitar Player of the Year. This podcast is all about bluegrass music, where they swap stories, crack jokes, and pick on each other. Josh even plays a song or two in each episode. Plus, they sit down with bluegrass artists and insiders for interviews you won't hear anywhere else. It's music, it's laughs, it's all things bluegrass, right here on the Hometown Bluegrass Show. Now, here are your hosts, Tim Batts and Josh Williams.
Well, thank you, Miss Cindy Baca, and we appreciate all the kind words you give us. I'm Tim Batts on the Hometown Bluegrass Show, along with my dearest friend, Josh Williams.
Hello, music lovers.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, Wyatt, I am rolling.
Well, that's just lovely, Huckleberry. Glad you're doing well.
You got the reference. That's cool.
Hey, I'm a huge Tombstone fan, man. I know lots of that movie. Matter of fact, I just watched a big part of it yesterday, so for about the umpteenth time, yeah. I watched two of my favorite movies yesterday, Shawshank Redemption and Tombstone. Those are two in my top 10 of all time. So
yeah, I'm with you on there. I put them in mine too.
Yep. Great movies. So
one of my favorite of all time movies, and it was not really a movie, it was more of a mini series, I guess you could say, or it wasn't mini, it was a big old series, but Lonesome Dove.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So my youngest boy, Gus, is named after two cowboys, one fictional, one nonfiction. But Wyatt Earp, his first name's Wyatt, and his middle name's Augustus, and he was named after Augustus McCrae from Lonesome Dove. And of course, we lost Robert Duvall yesterday.
Yeah, that's what
95 years old.
I know it. What a loss to the movie world and the TV world, man. He was a classic icon. I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah. Born in 1931.
Man, he was a classic for sure.
What a life lived, man. Golly.
I'm telling you, he has been around and just such an amazing actor in so many great movies for sure. So, but speaking of great movies, one of my favorite top 10s is "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" Where does that rank for you?
Is
that in your top 10?
It's definitely up there.
Is it?
Yeah, I would say top 10. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, we're going to have Mr. Jerry Douglas on this episode, so I'm super excited about that.
Dude, yeah, I'm beyond excited about this. I was able to catch him earlier this year, about mid-January, and got him on the books for this, and been excited about it ever since.
Yeah,
because he's about to hit the road pretty hard. I mean, they hit the road next month. So
yeah, Allison keeps him real busy. Not to mention all the other stuff he's got going on. So
yeah, all the irons in the fires that he's got. But yeah. They'll stay pretty busy this year with Allison.
Well, I'm sure I will feel way out of place and humbled to listen to you guys talk and tell stories, because y'all been around, and he's definitely seen it all for sure. So,
well, he's just such an icon, man. I mean, he's just such a musical icon, and he spans all genres.
Yeah,
he's not just a bluegrass dobro player. I mean, he's put the dobro everywhere that the dobro's been.
Yeah.
If it's been somewhere, it's because of him, more than likely,
Oh,
so,
absolutely. Absolutely. And to play on so many albums and to win so many Grammys is just unbelievable. So, but yep, I'll just stay out of the Grammy award winning conversations between you two. So, but anyway, that'll be cool. Can't wait to chat with him and see what's up. So, you playing anywhere? Aren't you playing the Grand Ole Opry this week?
I played the Grand Ole Opry this past weekend.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, with Rhonda. Played banjo.
Yeah, to keep up?
Yeah. I kept up. Well, luckily, she didn't do anything super fast.
Well, good. Good deal. She took it easy on you, huh?
She did. She did. It was a good time.
Cool. Well, that sounds
Always
good.
love getting to play the Opry.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to cut our part a little bit short because we want to have plenty of time for Mr. Jerry Douglas and let him tell some amazing stories. And I know he and Josh are going to have a lot to talk about, and we want to hear all about what he's doing now and all the cool things he has done. So we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk to the legend, Mr. Jerry Douglas. Don't go anywhere.
Custom Automotive in Calvert City, Kentucky has been a family-operated business for over 50 years. When you call Custom Automotive, you'll talk to an experienced tire and wheel expert. They install wheels and tires on thousands of vehicles every year in addition to their online sales. Stop by and thank them for supporting bluegrass music. Custom Automotive, Highway 62, Calvert City, Kentucky, 270-395-7611. Or visit them online at customautoonline.com.
Looking for expert insurance advice from a team that truly knows Western Kentucky? At Paducah Insurance Agency, we're more than just policies. We're your neighbors, helping you protect what matters most. With locations in Paducah and Benton, Kentucky, we offer home, auto, business, and life insurance with top carriers like Erie Insurance, all at competitive rates. Locally owned and committed to your peace of mind, Jared Morgan and his team are here to help. Call Paducah Insurance Agency today at 855-853-4763 or visit paducahinsurance.com. Paducah Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you trust.
Howdy, friends. I'm Banjo Ben Clark, and you're listening to my good buddies Tim Batts and Josh Williams on the Hometown Bluegrass Show. You've tuned in because you like valuable conversation about the world's best music. And if you want more good stuff like that, come on over to my website, banjobenclark.com, where you can learn how to play and purchase anything you might need when it comes to bluegrass-related instruments and accessories. My Gold Pick members over there can access hundreds of lessons for banjo, guitar, and mandolin with all kinds of resources to help you move on down the road with your picking skills. And if you're looking to purchase something, the deals can't be beat at Banjo Ben's General Store. All there on the same website, banjobenclark.com. Now back to the show.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hometown Bluegrass Show, where we make memories last forever and highly unscripted and have lots of fun. But I am here with my good buddy co-host Josh Williams. And,
hello.
We are just super excited to be back with you, and we're real excited about our guest, who we've subjected to all of our shenanigans tonight, who really needs no introduction. 16-time Grammy winner, Mr. Jerry Douglas.
Hello, fellas.
How you is?
How's it going?
Sir Flux.
Have you guys, did you experience our storm? Are we accountable for the time we're living in right now? The ice storm we just had here in Nashville.
Oh, yeah. We lucked out. We got all snow instead of very little ice, but I saw the damage that the ice storm brought you guys, man. It's wicked.
Oh, it was bad. My old truck got crushed by a tree.
Oh, man.
All that.
Where can you get a windshield for a 78 Ford F-100?
Oh, Lord.
Man, that's a
They're
good
just
question.
laying everywhere.
Did you lose power for a while?
Lost power, but here's the kicker. I was in the UK the whole time.
Oh.
I left on Friday and the storm hit Saturday, and I was already in Glasgow when all that happened. So I just had to get pictures of the devastation, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm over there trying to put transatlantic sessions together, doing that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but it was bad. And I'm back. Now I have PTSD, and I'm here to talk to you guys.
Well, we lived through our own ice storm in 2009 here in Western Kentucky, and that still haunts me all the time. So,
oh man,
without power for 13 days, and I don't think I've still recovered from that. So,
no, you'll never unthaw from that one.
No, absolutely. But well, man, we're glad you're here. I mean, if anybody is a music fan, they've surely heard of you. I guess one thing that stood out to me, I was looking at your website earlier, and I didn't realize you were a 3-time CMA Musician of the Year. That's kind of new to me. That's cool.
That was there was a period of time there when, around the time of Oh Brother, and and a little after that, that's when I was winning that.
Yeah.
You kind of win in a series if you take a look at it.
Yeah.
Mark won 7 times, I think, and then Janae's won 4 or 5 times, and Chet Atkins made him retire him after the 10th. I mean, it's a crazy thing to win that. It's very, very nice, very very nice, very nice to win.
Was that back in the American Music Shop days?
Yeah, well, just after.
Just after.
Just after, but yeah, there was a lot of that going on. Yeah.
I really miss those days, man, because that was such a cool show. I get to see you guys perform all the time and bring in new artists, and there's nothing like that on TV anymore, man.
We were sort of taken out of our comfort zone a lot of times. No, you don't see it on, and that's what we liked about it was different then. It was more like a nighttime show, running all these people through. But yeah, we had a lot of really cool people on there, and at the same time, we got to play with our heroes and bring Hartford out, bring Earl Scruggs out, bring Tony out, bring whoever we wanted, but also do a bunch of Aaron Nevilles and Bellamy Brothers and
yeah,
and I don't know, we just did so many shows, we kind of burned out on that too.
Yeah.
So what work involved in a TV show, because you rehearse we were doing 2 shows a day. So we would rehearse the first show, then rehearse the second show, and then film the first show. And then by the time you got to the second show, you didn't remember anything.
Yeah.
So, winging it. And that was probably the good one,
When you're breathing through your eyelids on.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're just playing. You're not thinking anymore. You're just playing. That's the best kind of music.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Some of my favorite ones of those back, not to dwell on this too much, but some of my favorites were where you would bring people like Tony and Vassar, they would come out, the bluegrass guys would come out, but you guys wouldn't necessarily do bluegrass. That was the part that I loved. Like you had Vassar on one night, and Vassar was like a featured artist.
Right.
Sideman, so he got to do his jazzier stuff.
Right. He'd do his swing, his crazy swing. Yeah. And Vassar was a great singer,
Yes, he was.
And most people didn't really hear that part of him. They'd heard his fiddle, and he was man, what a fiddle player. First time I ever heard of Vassar Clements, a friend of my father's, we were all at Berryville, Virginia, at a festival, and my father's band, he had this fiddle player, and that guy said, "You ought to come over here and watch this guy. He plays all these notes, but he only pulls the bow one time. Well, he's pulling one direction, but there's thousands of notes flying out." It was like Vassar's thing,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was amazing how far down the rabbit hole he could go.
Yeah,
Vassar, he
Absolutely.
was like the first jammer.
Yeah,
he invented it.
Yeah, he was the father of jamgrass.
Yeah, Vassar Clements. Yeah,
I miss him.
Mention his name to a lot of people now; they don't even know who he is. And
I know, dude.
That long. It's not been that long.
I had a T-shirt, and it just said Vassar across of it, across the front of it, and I had so many people, wondering if it was like the school or whatever.
Yeah.
And the first person that I wore it around that actually got it was Bill Vorndick. I wore it to his one day, and he's like, "I love that shirt." And I was like, "Oh, you get it, don't you?" He's like, "Yeah, I totally get it."
Yeah.
Finally, somebody gets it.
How many times do I have to wear this shirt before
exactly
I'm going to recognize it? Yeah.
I got on my pizza tape shirt right now, and I wear it out, and people are like, "Pizza tapes? What's that?"
Yeah, I had a John Duffy shirt on the other day. The one where he's standing there smoking a cigarette, and he's got a drink in his other hand, I think.
Oh my gosh, I gotta have one of those.
Yeah, I think who had those. Well, anyway, yeah, t-shirts that are hard to find, very obscure t-shirts. That's one right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I just got
But there
Josh
are a
a
few around.
0045 shirt.
Yeah. Tim got me one that has 0044 on the front of it. That has just
Whoa!
of the album.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really cool, man.
I can't wear my own swag, man. Can't wear my it's
Well,
got anything to do with me, I can't wear it.
you could wear Crow's swag, but he'd charge you for it.
And I'd gladly pay him.
Oh yeah, dude. I just recently had a friend of mine send me a JD Crow pocket knife. Yeah. Now it's not one of them that has the writing in the handle. It's not the it's a red plastic handle.
It
But
doesn't
it has this
matter.
signature in the blade. It's just
cleaned
like
his fingernails with it. Who cares?
yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's like one of my favorite things ever.
He probably used that to tamp one of those cigarette loads down in Bobby Sloan's cigarette.
We had Steve Chandler on a few months ago, and Steve was talking about that. He said every time they was in the studio, somebody was getting
it was going to be an explosion in the best take. Yeah. Yeah, we used to sit in the studio and smoke, and you'd light a cigarette and you'd put it down, you'd do the take, and then there's no cigarette.
Yeah.
You didn't really smoke that much, but you got a lot of secondhand stuff just being there.
Yeah. So what year did you actually join Crow's band mid-recording of 0044, or were you there at the start? Do you remember?
I didn't join until June. I think we recorded in February or in March, I think is when we recorded. And but I was still with the Country Gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved. Wow, that's nuts. I moved in 75 in June to Lexington from DC. Yeah. And started playing with Crow. And but I'd already done the record, and I just went in to play on a couple of cuts, and they had talked Crow into having one more voice in there, and he went for it. And then I ended up playing on like 8 or 9 songs.
Yeah.
And yeah, that record. Wow, I couldn't believe it. For a long time, I was just like, the first crazy thing that happened with that record was it got a Grammy, and none of us even knew what a Grammy was at that point. We didn't even. This thing just kind of showed up in the mail one day, and just like got a Grammy.
Nice,
very nice.
Showed up in the mail.
Yeah, I didn't know it was coming. Just kind of showed up on my doorstep. I said, "What the hell is this?" Yeah. But that record has gotten a lot of good juju about it, being in the Library of Congress and being in the Grammy Hall of Fame and all this stuff. It's gone a long way, just the way it is, and I listened to it a lot when it got remastered. And they were actually thinking about remixing it, and I said, no.
Yeah.
Said, no. Why would you do that after it's gotten this far, has done all these things? And so we stopped that, and it is what it was. Just a little cleaner.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to me, like listening to everybody play. We were all in our infancy, compared to where we went to where we ended up at this point, in the depth of our playing, and where we were in play. Even Tony's, his lead work was, very early on for what he ended up doing, in the places he ended up taking his guitar.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty simple compared to Mars West,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And But I heard him shift Tony when we came back. We were coming back from or going over to Japan, one or the other, and we were in San Francisco. And I went with Tony to a rehearsal with Grisman, and it was the first time I'd ever heard anything like that. And it was the first time anybody had heard anything like that.
Right.
And to hear Tony, his voicings and everything, the way he started to play, was nothing like what he was playing with us. You know, two different people, totally. And what a great path to fall down. You know, and we went the right way.
That's crazy, man. To know that. I mean, obviously, you know, the stuff they played with you guys at that time was awesome and you know, classic. But to hear him play something completely different in the same time frame, you know, just the mindset was different, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he'd sit at home late at night and just listen to Miles, you know, or listen to Coltrane or one of his favorites was Eric Dolphy.
Oh,
he loved his phrasing.
Mm-hmm.
We would just sit because I would fly out there and get there 2 days ahead of recording just to get used to San Francisco. And Marin, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
The music was all beautiful. It was all brand new. You know, nobody was copying anything because there was no.
I had done it before.
There was no imprint. You know, there was nothing to go by. You know, just free zone.
Yeah. Yeah, his whole idea, Grisman's idea behind that was pure genius. You know, I mean, boldly going where no bluegrass picker had gone before.
No, he said he just played these tunes. He was just at this thing that Dell and I threw, this big throwdown in Arizona right at the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
What a good time to be in Arizona. You can actually go outside and take a deep breath. Yeah. But beautiful. But David came to this thing. First time he'd left home since COVID.
Really?
Yeah. And but he came down there and he had a great time, and we did this whole thing. We played these dog tunes, and we played the new tunes. We played only new tunes, really. We played Dog's Bull maybe or something like that, but that was the only tune of the old stuff.
Yeah.
He has all these new tunes and they're really great. But he was having the greatest time. But yeah, he said, I was just writing these tunes and just playing them, you know, with whoever would play them. And then here comes Richard Green, and then here comes John, the guitar player. What's his name?
Carly.
And yeah, and then all of a sudden Tony shows up, you know, and that kicked that. Then they had everybody in one town, and they could actually attack this stuff.
Yeah.
When I was there, they were rehearsing a song called Thailand. This is it's like an epic song with about 4 or 5 different parts, you know, that would come back at different times. Yeah, like a Korean newspaper. I don't think you can say that, but yeah.
That's all right.
It was hard. It was hard to figure out. You couldn't look at it and play it. You just had to play it.
Right. Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I saw where you guys were doing that, and I guess my invite got lost in the mail, but that's cool. I know how that goes. You know,
things like, oh man, the mail system just
it's okay, dude. It's all right. I had to work anyway, so I don't get to have fun stuff like that anymore. Anyway, not very often.
No, yeah, come on. You can go downtown and draw a crowd anytime you want.
That's true.
Downtown Benton, Kentucky, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Wherever you are.
That's right. So you actually were with the gentleman how long before going with Crow?
I played the summer between my junior and senior years of high school. I went out was on 1973, and played the summer with them. And uh, it was great because they were kind of the cream of the crop at that point. They were like the Newgrass revival of their time, you know.
Mhm.
Then there was the Newgrass revival.
Right.
But I did get to know Sam just a little bit at that point back then, because Newgrass was really just starting to jump out there. And that was the uh, only thing that I got to listen to that summer that wasn't hardcore bluegrass of some kind, because they traveled a circuit that was, a traditional bluegrass circuit. And it was back in the old days
Yeah.
where you'd be at some festival in Kentucky and the miners got paid on Friday, and you're doing a show and some old boy just pulls out a hog leg and just fires it straight up in the air. And it's like, show's over. Everyone's going home. Back then, and festivals were at that point where that wasn't long after uh, Woodstock, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, everybody thought every festival should be like Woodstock and have 50,000 people at least. And the
Yeah.
motorcycle gang who was around there was the security.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it cleaned up the place at night, but they had their Carlton Haney had a place where they just had nets of over all this beer and all this stuff. It was their stuff, and you didn't touch it. And but that was how he'd pay them. But it
Oh.
would security. But all these festivals were huge, and there were promoters like Jim Clark who would just make up this big list and promote it. And then when it started getting traction, then he'd start calling the people on the list.
Oh no. Wow.
I think Tony Trischka once, those guys took the money at the gate. They took the gate until they got the money and they were to be paid at the show. Then they went to play their show.
That's hilarious. Wow.
That's the old days of festivals, man. You guys have had it so easy. You walk up, you walk off the bus, play the show, get back on the bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go over to the record table maybe for a little shaking howdy, and then you're out of there.
But thank you to you, to people like you, man.
I've got pictures
blazing the way for it.
sitting behind the record table, selling the records. We're all so little, but it was worth it.
Yeah. So where did the nickname come from?
Oh, well, we Skaggs kind of hung it on me. The first summer I was out there, through just a weird joke on the bus, I ended up being called Flux, and then kind of like stuck with me for a long time until I was in Boone Creek, and I was playing we were playing in a Ramada Inn in Frankfurt, I think. And after the show, this old guy rolls up to me and he says, son, your nickname Flux. He said, that's not really a good thing. He said it was a disease that killed armies during the Roman times.
Oh my gosh.
I was going, oh God. I was going to go with the the flux makes the solder fluid and makes things hang together and all that happy talk. Somebody said that and I went, yes, that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
And so then I name a record Fluxology, and then another one Fluxido, and then I went, I need to meet some new people. I need to meet some people who don't call me Flux.
Well, yeah, and I noticed on some of those earlier records they had Flux out into the side in the quotations.
Yeah. Anything probably that Tony had anything or Ricky had anything to do with. Yeah, at that point. And still, people from way back then come up to me and call me Flux. They are usually people from that period, back in the 70s, late 70s, 80s, early 80s. Before when I started working with the Whites, it was kind of like, let's not say that.
Yeah. Well, one time when I heard it and I thought it was really cool, actually, was whenever you and I were somewhere, and I can't remember where we were, but Larry Nager showed up and was hanging out with us and stuff. Do you remember Larry used to play with the Harley and stuff back in the day?
Yeah.
And he showed up, and you had just gotten. They started doing the tailpiece on the Beard Dobros that drops the tuning.
Oh, right.
Is it hip shot or something like that?
Yeah.
And I remember him asking you if that was the flux capacitor. I thought, okay, now that's cool.
Now I was happy when that came along too. Yeah, I have a flux capacitor actually. Yeah, I do.
That's awesome.
And Vornik gave it to me.
Oh, really? An actual like one like the movies and stuff?
Let me see if I can get it down without breaking everything.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's this.
Oh. That's awesome.
I've never actually turned it on. I'm afraid. I shouldn't turn it on.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Right there. Yeah, I used to do this during COVID. I did these shows called Flux Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And from like 1 o'clock to between 1 and 3, I'd come on and do like a Facebook, Instagram show for 30 minutes or so, just until I ran out of things to say, because I'm here all by myself staring into a camera.
Yeah.
And feeling a little crazy, and playing it and just not really talking to anybody. But I had all my neighbors. I told them all no mowing between the hours of 1 and 3, and no, they didn't.
Well, that's good.
They wouldn't mow the yards. Yeah, so they didn't make all that noise, so I could go ahead and record.
Yeah.
Well, man. Had some. Yeah, this place has paid off. Just having a place to go and. Hey, man, Woman Hater Club.
I understand, man. I understand.
No, not that at all.
Was that where I saw I saw? Were you standing like in front of like bookshelves or something?
Maybe.
Yeah, I saw something during that time, and you were playing "Hey Joe" from your Slide Rule album, but you sang it on the record. Tim O'Brien sings it, but you were singing it, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Because I mean, I knew you were a great singer, but I never heard you actually just belt out the lead on that. And that's not a low song. That's how
I found out. Yeah.
Yeah. But you nailed it, man. It was awesome.
It took me a couple years to get that back to B. Yeah. B, the man's key.
That's right.
Yeah. No. But yeah, I mean, when you have a band and you need a singer, why not,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a singer when I was a kid, when I was walking around with a mandolin, and a Sears guitar. I was singing at the top of my lungs. But then I started playing dobro, and it did was sort of operating in the same part of my brain,
Really?
The phrasing and the notes, and trying to be in tune and all those kind of things, and singing. Abby Gardner's doing it. The dobro player. She's great, and she can sing and play at the same time, and it's just it's crazy. It's like being left-handed and watching yourself play in a mirror. It's like it's just upside down and backwards to me. I can't do walk and chew gum, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And But yeah, dobro is a strange instrument.
So what was it that made you settle on the dobro?
I really I really loved Earl Scruggs when I was a little kid. You know, every day I'd, you know, I've told this a million times, but my dad worked in the steel mill, and he'd be going to work. I'd be getting ready for school, and he loved Flatt and Scruggs, and there'd be a if we couldn't get the live show from here in the mornings, we would put a record on. So Flatt and Scruggs for breakfast every day.
Yeah.
And I love Josh Graves playing, but it was Earl Scruggs that was like, you know, could play it and then sound like he was hydroplaning, you know, just like lift you up off the record, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like Earl was like looking over the edge all the time in front of everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really strange
I grew up the same way. I remember mine was not in the mornings because we didn't have the radio shows and stuff, you know, by the time I was growing up, but we had all kinds of LPs, you know, here at the house that my dad had. So every time I'd come home from school or whatever, and he'd come home from work like an hour before supper. We would literally just sit down and listen to every single Flatt and Scruggs album that we had.
Scrutinize.
As much as we could. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And that was good for my dad had a band. So I got to watch them rehearse, watch them figure out, you know, where harmonies were, who sang them, who played the solo where, that kind of stuff. Because they go out and play the beer joints on the weekends.
Right.
When I was about 13, I started playing with them. Started going out and playing. But yeah, it was an education.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. School of hard knocks there.
Little old ladies giving you vodka and squirt, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Long nights.
I see you got your picks on your finger there. You about to play something or what?
No, I was just out here and they were sitting there, and I think it's a good idea to have them on any chance I can.
You just don't feel right without them on, do you?
Boy, it does feel better. I didn't think about that, but yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Before I step on one of them, you know.
I actually have some here myself, but they're not even, these are my sons. So
yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like Bauckham now.
Yeah. I give you this much. What more do you need? You've gotten to play with some of, I mean, obviously, I mean, you're an icon. You're one of the heroes, but I mean, like all of the other guys, like you guys all were in this, like you guys were all buddies. And that's what's so cool to me is like you had all this time with Skaggs. You had all the time with Bauckham, you know, with Boone Creek and all of that. And your time with Tony and all, like you just grew up with all these, with these greats, you know, and obviously, I mean, you're right there with them, you know, I mean,
it was like a Renaissance point, you know?
Yeah.
Where suddenly this, you know, because of all the other things we were listening to, like Ricky and I, we were always just listening to Django and Stefan, you know, Django Reinhardt was just that was all we could think about.
Yeah, you can hear in his fiddling, especially.
Oh yeah, yeah, and his dancing mandolin.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of dropped into a zone, like we played with the pioneers too. We played with Long Monroe and the Osborne brothers when it you know, Dale Sled was singing or Ronnie Reno was singing with them, you know, and during that time period, and we saw Don Reno but we also saw, you know, right underneath that was this other layer of Breakfast Special and Newgrass Revival and the New Deal String Band, you know, would play late at night at the festival because that's when the kids would come out.
Right.
Kids would come out. All the old folks, they didn't want to hear that, what they'd done to their music, you know. And so they'd all go about it. I would sneak back down there and watch those guys play. And I saw Tony Trischka, I saw all these people that became my friends, and I wasn't that much younger than them, but just enough to be just, beyond reach of what they were doing. But I was headed that way, and they were influencing me without knowing it, at that time. Festivals were a wonderful thing back then. There weren't that many, so you didn't, it wasn't blasé kind of thing. Oh, let's go to the festival,
Yeah.
let's go to Rail Fest. It happens every year. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, it wasn't, we didn't, I don't think it's taken for granted now, but they were just, the good ones were so few and far between.
Yeah.
Bill Monroe had Bean Blossom going, and Ralph had his holler going down there,
Mm-hmm.
playing down there with the Country Gentlemen the first summer, and Ricky and Keith, their fathers built that stage down there. Hobart and
Yeah.
I don't know what Keith's father's name was, but they built the stage for Ralph, and Ralph was down there working too. And they uncovered that, that stage when Ralph died. I went to the funeral, and on the way to walk up the hill to the cemetery, you had to pass where the old stage was down there in the brush. You wouldn't go down there, Copperhead would eat you up down there now. But they had cut the brush back, and you could see the stage. It was very cool,
Yeah.
very eerie too.
Yeah, I love how they still have. In fact, I'd heard that two was working on trying to get it back to where it was usable again. So
Well, it's a perfect amphitheater right there, and it's round, and a beer bottle will roll all the way to the bottom, all the way to the
absolutely
stage,
all the way to the
top.
stage.
I think that's how they gauge those things, isn't it? But yeah, it was where they cut a live record on the stage there, and they somehow squeezed that out. I don't, uh, and we, who was it said they were asking some engineer if he had any reverb, and he said, "Yeah, it's all around us. It's all around us. It's called tree verb."
Tree verb.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
So you have played on, is this right? You've played on over 1,600 albums
yeah,
in total?
it's wet, and that's an old number.
Wow.
I think it's like 2,200.
Wow.
But I don't count that stuff. If somebody will tell me that all music has it,
Yeah.
somebody keeps track of us. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I just happened to jot down some of the names that of people that you've recorded with over the years, and there's not a whole lot of people that I know in the genre that we call bluegrass that have this kind of catalog. I mean, you've recorded with Garth, Ray Charles, Eric Clapton, of course, Dolly, Paul Simon, Elvis Costello, James Taylor, and of course, with Allison, even before you were actually a member.
Yeah, I met Allison when she was 14. Uh, Ken Irwin had just signed her to Rounder Records, and he brought her down to. She and her folks came over to Bella's house, and Sam and Bella and I went to listen to her sing and play. And she really wasn't thinking about singing, at all. She was into playing.
Yeah.
But she sang a song, and we were all like, "You're a singer. You're a singer. You're a good player, but you're a singer." And then I played on the record that I didn't produce that record, but the record after that I did produce of her. Yeah, I've got that old feeling. That was that.
Yeah.
Right, that. And then I worked on some of the other records, Union Station records. And then
I got that old feeling was the first bluegrass music video that I ever saw. And I remember seeing you and I remember Tim Stafford and you had the long ponytail and the stash and yeah, it was cool though. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Of course, music videos were fairly new, especially on that side of the it wasn't rock and roll. It was the country or, the CMT type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was a new company. It was Acme Pictures. Somehow Joanne Gardner and Roseanne Cash had a company, and they filmed that.
Oh,
yeah, and I just remember everybody swirling around and doing crazy stuff, and they were shooting us from above. I thought that's good.
Yeah,
it's all good. And I guess that was the very first one. That's crazy. I didn't realize, hadn't thought about it.
Yeah, it was a fairly new thing, the country music videos. I remember that one specifically just because that was like the first time I was like, holy crap, Jerry Douglas is on TV right now, and I remember running and telling Dad and stuff, and of course, mom's never been, I won't say she's not a bluegrass fan because she is, and she loves bluegrass, but she was nearly into it as much as me and Dad were, and
right.
And so
I lived in that house. I lived in the house too. Yeah. Yeah, my mother was more of a Johnny Cash fan. Yeah, if she owned them. But yeah, the things I could tell her.
So let's see. You went after. Well, before we move on from Crow, I do want to ask you one thing, and that's about the trip to Japan that you guys made. Because I know I've rode with Crow back in the day, and he would tell me some stuff, and but I he never really told me the real stuff, and
You'll never know the real stuff.
I do know of one story that we won't talk about on here, but that involved Tony. But I remember hearing you guys say on a thing, and it may have been on the KET documentary they did on Crow, where you and Ricky had both said, had Tony stayed, you guys would have stayed longer than you did.
Oh yeah, sure.
But that was pretty much
that was going to change the whole complexion of the band. That was going to change things so much. And Ricky and I were wanting to have a band, had always wanted to have a band.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought that was coming together, and it didn't come together like we thought, but we did move on.
Yeah. I think he moved on pretty well, because that was where you guys born Boone Creek, right?
Boone Creek, but Keith was supposed to be the original lead singer, and Mark Pruitt was going to play banjo, and Balcom was going to play fiddle. But then when Mark couldn't come because he started a music store called Pick and Grin in Knoxville and Nashville, and I mean, it was like these things, these guys couldn't do it because of things that were totally no-brainers. Yeah, except Lou Reed. Lou Reed had a tobacco crop in the field. I understand that now, but at the time I was like, "Oh, what? You got what?
Yeah.
Can't just walk away?" No. But that didn't pan out. So Ricky and I did keep going, and we found these other people, and then went a totally different direction, and it worked out for a while. It was fun. It sure was fun. And especially around this time of year when it's really cold was when we would go to Ottawa, all the way to Ottawa, Canada.
That makes sense.
Like you do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I recall a January when I was playing in Fairbanks, Alaska, so I get it.
Yeah. step out and all the steam that starts to come off your body, and pretty soon you are very cold. Um, yeah, but we thought we were going to die a couple times in that old van we had before we finally wrecked it, and uh, oh man, it'll be
Didn't there have wasn't there something to do with ketchup?
yeah.
Ketchup happened. Something happened because Baucom told me about that, and I was just curious on how you remembered that.
Well, we had just stopped at a fish and chips place, and everybody got tartar sauce and ketchup and all this stuff, and you know, and Ricky was driving, and he was trying to get ahead of this big hay truck that was beside us, and there was a truck in front of us, and Ricky was kind of riding this guy's bumper, wanting him to go faster or something to happen. And all of a sudden, that truck in front of us went right really fast, and there was somebody stopped at the bottom of the hill, and we couldn't get over, so we had time to brace ourselves.
Oh my gosh!
And that's when all the ketchup and all the everything went all over the backs of the seats. And I think Steve Bryant, the bass player's arm came down on top of Skaggs' Lloyd Lower case, and like didn't really hurt it, but just was really scary moment.
Yeah.
When he could have just drove the bridge right through the top,
Mm-hmm.
easily, but didn't happen. But that our van was over, the end, and we had a job to play in Chapel Hill was our next stop, and we were in Harlan, or were we in Harlan or Pikeville? One of those two. I think it was.
Oh,
I
goodness.
think we were in Pikeville.
Yeah.
Where this happened, and Glenn Roberts, who was the father of the fellow that helps out with the Blue Highway Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a big Firestone dealership over there, and he came and got us in his station wagon and took us all to a place. We played that night at the Eastman Kodak building up there in Tri-Cities, and then we had to take a van cab to Chapel Hill.
Oh man.
And it took forever, and I remember it cost $250.
Wow, that's big money back then, especially. Yeah,
for us, it was we were making $14 a night. Yeah, so yeah, it was tough, but we did that, and then we got another van, and it was a wild week, one of the wildest weekends I remember. It was almost the lost weekend for me in bluegrass music. Yeah,
I can see that.
I met a couple of fellows that to this day are a couple of my best friends, Tony Williamson and Walter Holton, two friends of mine that you know those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the night I met those guys after the big wreck and all that stuff. We're all traumatized.
Yeah, I bet.
But
Baucom said you looked inside that van, saw that ketchup everywhere. It looked like somebody died.
it looked like an axe murder, man. It really
Thank God you guys were okay, though, man. My goodness.
Yeah, nobody got hurt. It was the craziest thing. We had Boone Creek had some strange things happen to it. It was we'd have to check years later with each other to make sure that really happened.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So then you went to work with the Whites. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I went back to work with the Country Gentlemen for about 5 months, and then split and moved to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
The Whites showed up at my house in Keysville, Virginia, not close to Farmville, Virginia.
Yeah.
Which isn't too far from Richmond. But James Bailey and Doyle Lawson and I would drive up to DC together and get on the bus.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the whites came down and with a van and a moving and a trailer and a truck and moved me from there to Hendersonville.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. In an ice storm like the one we just had here. Yeah.
Wow.
It was really wild, adventurous times. And that then pretty much for me when the doors got blown off where it just started, it was just work after that. That's when a lot of those records started.
The Lake House Inn at Sled Creek has undergone complete renovation in 2023. Our outdoor space is unlike any other at Kentucky Lake. With 2 in-ground pools, 18 rooms, and 4 cabins, we're just a stone's throw away from Kentucky Dam. If you're looking to make memories with your family, this nostalgic inn is for you. Welcome to your lake house, where modern meets rustic and becomes home. Reserve online at lakehouseinn.com.
Hey, this is Josh Williams for Page Capos. The Page Capo is lightweight, durable, and quickly attaches and allows you to change frets with ease. With controlled tension capabilities, Page Capo always stays in tune. But don't just take my word for it. Page Capos is also used by folks like Vince Gill, Ron Block, Tim O'Brien, Cody Kilby, Tommy Emmanuel, and James Taylor. So don't trust just any capo. Use what the pros use. Listen to the Hometown Bluegrass Show podcast for your chance to win a Page Capo on every episode. Do what I do and trust Page Capos. Order online at pagecapo.com.
Well, thank you, Page Capos, and we do give away Page Capo in every episode, and we want you to check us out on Facebook. Be sure and like and follow us on the Hometown Bluegrass Show Facebook page, where you can hear more great stuff like you have heard tonight. Great conversation from 16-time Grammy Award winner, Mr. Jerry Douglas. Man, that was fun conversation.
Yes. I'm still kind of I'm still soaking it in, man.
I know we kind of fangirled out on him a little bit, but it was so cool just to hear all that cool stuff, man. That's pretty neat. So we'll definitely have to make this a 2-parter for sure. So we'll play half of this in this episode here, and then next week we'll catch part 2 with it. So you be sure and check that out next week so you can hear the rest of our great conversation with Jerry Douglas. So anyway, Mr. Flux.
That's right, man. Dude, I love doing this just for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. It is so cool, man. We've got to do some really neat things and got more coming up. I mean, we've got, some great people coming up here in the coming weeks. Cindy Bauckham and Ben Isaacs and Wayne Benson and just lots of great people in the bluegrass and music world. So
that's right.
But I'm the lucky one, man. I get to do this with you every week. So, hey, man, I count myself as a fangirl. So,
well,
how's that make you feel?
I'm loving doing it, man. So I'm glad that we do it.
Cool. Well, I'm
glad you had this idea.
Yeah. Hey, I had one good idea in the last 2 years. So. I did have a good idea on that shirt I bought you. That looks good on you there, man.
That's right.
That Tony Rice shirt.
I love it, dude. I love it.
That's cool.
I love this shirt.
No doubt. Well, loved it as usual, man. I tell you, appreciate it. And it's a great conversation with him. And you guys just had me in awe. So it was pretty cool. So.
Well, I was right there with you. So okay. I appreciate him taking the time to do this with us.
Absolutely. Don't forget, next week be the second half of our conversation with Jerry Douglas, and just always remember, just keep her between the ditches, and if you got time to breathe,
you got time for music.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Hometown Bluegrass Show. Thanks for spending some time with your hosts, Tim Batts and Josh Williams. We hope you learned a little and laughed a lot. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode from the heart of bluegrass. Until next time, keep picking, keep grinning. Tim and Josh look forward to seeing you down the road.